Hi, I'm Melissa Bloomfield, owner of MEL'S Tree Eats, Jamaica's leading cannabis edibles brand. Happy 420. Long story short, here is how MEL'S Tree Eats started. So if you know me, you know I love weed and you know I love people. My journey home to Jamaica in 2014 had me exposed to just some of the most amazing people. And I wanted a way to get to know them even more. So over a couple of months of being home in Kingston, and I'm not from Kingston, I'm from Mandeville, I was venturing to different events like Kingston Dub Club, what do you call it, Sankofa Sessions, Dubwise, events like those, where it was more of the root scene, the people that I enjoyed being around. I decided I was going to have a party at my house because I used to keep events in the States every full moon. So I decided to invite all these strangers to my home. So little by little, I collected their phone numbers and I let them know that I'm having a private gathering at my house, invitation only. A lot of people thought it was strange because they couldn't figure out who I was. When they would see me, they would always see me recording these events. They would always wonder if I was a journalist. They would wonder if I was a producer. I have a stack of CDs at home from some artists that, you know, I think I might need to revisit them now that I have an event called Buds and Brushes. But that's for another story. But anywho, I decided to invite these strangers into my house. Some of them looked at me like I was crazy because they're like, why is this pretty girl inviting them home? And yes, I do think I'm pretty. But yeah, they were nice enough to exchange numbers with me. So I had a private event at my home. It was about 30 people. It was called Jammin' by Mel. And that day, I kind of just thought about, you know what? I'm going to make a batch of brownies. And this time I'm going to actually tell people what's in there because, long story short again, side note, when I was in college I always cooked with herb, but I never used to tell my friends, so they used to just come to my house and they would wonder why is it that every time they leave my home they feel so irie, and it was because they were stoned. Sorry guys. I told them eventually and some of them found out after seeing many interviews that I've done. So anyways, I decided to make a batch of brownies. That day though, I told everyone what was in the brownies. And it just so happened that I'm just a great baker, and a lot of the people that were there enjoyed my brownies so much that one of them said to me, you know what, Mel, why don't you sell your brownies? Initially, I was just going to just sell to the circle. I wasn't thinking of it about, you know, a business, you know, part of it. And then I slept on it. And I thought long and hard about it. And I started thinking about my dad. And I started thinking about the benefits of ganja. And I decided I'm going to take this seriously and I'm going to start MEL'S Tree Eats. And in 48 hours after having my first jam, MEL'S Tree Eats was born. MEL'S Tree Eats, the name also came from The Perfect Tree by Chronix. Loved that song, was listening to it that night, smoking a spliff, and I was just like, it is the perfect tree. And I'm Mel, so MEL'S Tree Eats. Playing on the word versus treats, kind of lame. Tree Eats, you know, anywho. So yeah, so I took it and I ran with it. Jamaica had just decriminalized cannabis, and you know, it was a journey. It was a journey, and it's still been a journey because it's an interesting one. Because cannabis is still only decriminalized, but the edibles industry in Jamaica is not. Edibles is still illegal. So I actually kind of sort of run a kind of sort of illegal-ish company. But I proudly do, because I have been the household name and the trusted source in Jamaica for the past almost 7 years. And I always say the government is either going to make a good example out of me or a bad example out of me. And so far, I've been able to just be a good example. I do a lot of edibles education. I am the only person that sells my products. I only sell to 21 and older because I know that 18-year-olds just trying to get frost. And I am not in the business of getting people, excuse my French, effed up. You know, I really want people to enjoy it. So that was really the journey of MEL'S Tree Eats. And it has taken me to some great highs, no pun intended, and some lows, no pun intended. But yeah, I don't really have that many funny stories about people getting stoned because I do my business so responsibly. But I have stories about me getting stoned, but I'll save that for later. As far as MEL'S Eats, long story short, it is an amazing brand. It is a trusted source. If you ever decide that you're going to try edibles, make sure you try MEL'S Eats. And I'm going to put a plug in there, Danielle. I'm going to say also look out for Buds and Brushes JA. It is also an event that uses cannabis. So 420, spark up with some Itopia herb. 424, check out Buds and Brushes JA. Mel will send you a bag of treats and you can unleash your creativity with us. Thank you.